Good afternoon, everyone. Thanks for joining me in this video. I don't have much light here, but we have to get the information passed. Today is Friday, 25th day of April 2025. Now, terrorists abduct Catholic church priest from home in Kaduna State. In this year alone, 2025, I have recorded from my record in Nigeria alone that about 19 Reverend Fathers has been kidnapped, most of them from their homes. You remember what happened in Edo State, a seminarian in Reverend Father, Anambra State, Imo State, from across the country, especially in northern part of the country. The way they are targeting Reverend Fathers now, especially from their home. You know, if these people were kidnapped along the roads, you could say, oh, maybe it was just an accident. They never knew that the person is a Reverend Father. You know, different stories could be cooked, to make sure that people don't have the intention that they are targeting the Reverend Fathers and pastors. Now, in the recent attack that happened in Plateau State, we were made to know that hundreds upon hundreds of pastors were killed in Plateau State. So I realized that these people are targeting majority of Christians, okay? It's just like 95% of the attacks in the Middle Belt. The population of the people who are victims are Christians. So that is what I really want people to understand, that for the reason best known to these terrorists, they are targeting majority of Christians. But that is not enough. Catholic Church that I know have influence, they have capacity to make sure they defend themselves from all this attack. And Catholic Church is not talking the way they're supposed to talk. They are not doing anything, regards to insecurity challenges going on in the country. Because Catholic Church, I know, have influence to do what they want to do. If they really want to do something about the rate of killing, they are not doing anything about it at all. Now, come to talk about the pastors who are dying like chickens. The Christian Association of Nigeria, they have not done anything reasonable. If they have done anything, their best is not enough. The reason why I'm saying this is because most people who are the victims, it's like these people don't have all it takes to defend themselves. We know about so many people who are wealthy, who are pastors and Reverend Fathers, that these people can touch because of their security details. That is the double standard that makes me to always hate the thinking of people in Nigeria, because they believe that if it is not happening to me, it's not important. So if it is happening to others, let them bear the cross. And that is totally bad. Now, what happened in Kaduna State? A gang of suspected terrorists has arrested a Catholic church priest, Reverend Father Ibrahim Amos, in Kurmi, Rizga, Kauru local government area of Kaduna State. Now, this article is from Sahara Reporters, and I don't like the choice of words they use in this particular article, because when you mean arrested, it sounds legal, okay? Terrorists can't arrest people. Terrorists kidnap, they abduct, okay? Now, the abduction of the priest occurred in the early hours of Thursday around 12:15 a.m. Okay, that was yesterday. The priest was whisked away from his residence at St. Gerard, Kwasi Parish, Kurumi, Rizga. The Chancellor of the Catholic Diocese of Kafanchan, Reverend Father Jacob Shinet, confirmed the abduction on Thursday in a press statement. He described the development as a deeply saddened one. He called for prayers for the safe return of the cleric. And this is what he said. "We solicit your prayers for his quick and safe release," Shinet said. "We invite the general public to remain calm and avoid taking the law into their hands," he added, stressing that every legitimate and available means will be deployed to ensure that the cleric returns unharmed and in good health. Efforts to reach the Kaduna State Police Public Relations Officer DSP, Mansur Hassan, were unsuccessful, as he did not respond to calls as of the time of filing these reports. Now, that is the end of the article. Nigeria is a country. I'm sorry to say this, okay, but if you think about what I'm saying, you will agree with me, you will come in agreement with me that what I'm saying is true. Nigeria is a country where 90% of the population don't reason well. This is not an abusive word, okay? That is why I said you need to think about what I'm saying, if what I'm saying is true or not true, okay? 90%, when I mean 90%, I'm talking about almost 200 million Nigerians don't reason well. Yes, we don't reason well. Now, do you understand that almost half of the population in Nigeria have come in agreement that the evil happening in Nigeria is normal. Like, hey, Reverend Father was kidnapped now. The church, the Catholic diocese have released statement. Hey, don't take laws into your hands. You know what that means? Don't take guns and do not take gun and run after the kidnappers. Leave them. Even though you know the kidnappers, leave them. Nigerians don't reason well. We have a problem of thought. Now, if you ask them, I was talking with one of the Reverend Father. That was should be last 2 weeks. The issue of insecurity is part of the things we were discussing. And I was telling him that what is the problem with Nigerians and what is the solution to this increasing killing? What is the solution? That is what I'm asking everyone in Nigeria. What is the solution? He said that for him, that he believed that the solution will be if they return Nigeria to regional government and have regional security. I said, okay, no problem. That is your thought. But believe me, they won't agree for Nigeria to return to regional government because they know what they are doing. And that is why it is easy to call for the disintegration of Nigeria than to ask them to return it to regional government. Yeah, this is here. People don't know what is coming. They don't know. All our bushes is occupied. People who can withstand them are withstanding them. They are killing them as well. They are chasing them. Some communities who are strong are chasing them out of their community. But the whole community are not the same. Some of the communities are vulnerable to these attacks. People are dying every day. People are being kidnapped. Ask yourself this question. What is just the simple solution to it? You must have a geographical place where you will control your security. And that will lead Nigeria to having a different country, which is just the solution. If the disintegration of Nigeria will solve one thing, only one thing, security. Let it bring security. Yeah. If the disintegration of Nigeria will bring security, that is enough. It's enough reason to call for the disintegration of Nigeria. Why? Because those who are sponsoring insecurity in the name of Islamizing Nigeria, that time they will know that the game is over. The Benin Kingdom cannot sponsor insecurity against Benin Kingdom, but Nigeria state can do that. The Igbo state of Biafra cannot sponsor insecurity against their states. Their people could be corrupt. It's normal. Even though we are trying to call it normal because nobody is perfect in the whole world. But they cannot sponsor insecurity against their people if there is no Abuja. Abuja is very terrible. Abuja is destructive. Abuja is scattering people. Abuja is sponsoring insecurity against people. So, if all these countries have their own security, nobody dares you to invade their country. Now, look at what is happening in Burkina Faso. A lot of countries in the world are allegedly sponsoring, terrorists against Ibrahim Terrorist regime. They want to make sure they destabilize his regime so that people from around the world will see that, oh, I thought they said this man is working. It's not working. Let's remove him. That is the notion. That is what is happening in Burkina Faso today. But I thank God that Ibrahim Traore is the kind of person that all those things doesn't move. The more you do, the more he work harder. We are living in a very dangerous time. If I have the power, man cannot be God. If I have the power, the first thing I will stop in Africa is presidency. The presidency is against the people. The presidency don't help the people. That is the first thing I will do to stop the presidency before I will start doing other things. But it's so terrible and sometimes it's confusing because people don't still know the solution. Anyway, I pray for the safe return of the Reverend Father, and I believe the Catholic Church will learn because they're already learning in a hard way, and I believe other people will still learn. Arm yourself. Have your own security. I don't want to say more than that.